Hey, I'm Nick, and today I want to talk about the importance of recognizing the fact that hard stuff isn't going to be comfortable for you mentally or even physically sometimes. Even though the fact is that your body enjoys comfort. When it's a cold day outside and your bed is warm inside, you are more likely inclined to stay in bed instead of getting out and being met with the cold. Or even mentally, your body is more inclined to want to do something that's less energy taxing, like just scrolling on your phone, doing stuff that turns your brain off and doesn't actually use any energy, rather than doing something that's hard to do or something that it's obligated to do, like some kind of work online. Even though that staying in bed example may not be strictly because you just want more sleep, it can also just be the fact that you just aren't comfortable. You just don't want to have to face anything uncomfortable and instead would rather just sit in your bed and maybe still do some kind of work. But staying in bed and staying under the covers and doing work just isn't that productive. What you've got to understand is that hard stuff won't be fun and will most likely never be fun. It's just the fact that you're going to have to get used to it and build the discipline and find that motivation to keep on going. Even when you look back on times where you're really happy with the work that you did, think back even further to the actual time that you spent doing it and think back when you were actually sat at your desk and working on whatever you're doing. Most likely that wasn't really the most fun experience you could have had. It's the end goal that actually gives you that satisfaction. And I'm not saying that you should just make sure that everything isn't fun, as that would also get rid of the satisfaction you get from doing really good work. What the point is that we need to recognize that the hard work isn't going to be fun. However, if you stick with it, the results are what really matters. In fact, in general, if we get used to discomfort or not wanting to do a certain thing, but then pushing through because we know the results are going to be worth it, then that will also affect other stuff other than work. Like I want what I wanted, like wanting to stay in bed because it's cold, but you know that if you just get out of it and then get changed into an actual jacket or something that's a lot warmer, then you'd be fine a few minutes later. And so not only do we have to get used to hard work, we have to get used to the cold or being uncomfortable and be able to push through that. Now, it's very easy to use that example with exercise, as most exercise isn't actually going to put a smile on your face. But when you're actively doing something and there's something that's distracting, maybe it's too hot or cold in your room, and your energy is already low, you may feel inclined to just lay on your bed and tuck yourself in again. But like we mentioned, you can't be productive in a state like that, as more than likely you're probably just going to end up falling asleep anyway. Now, I'm not saying to completely disregard anything that brings you remotely any kind of comfort. I'm not recommending that you strip your bed of all the sheets so that the only reason that you're able to fall asleep is when you're absolutely exhausted. And as soon as you wake up, that you're in an uncomfortable state and able to move on. A much easier way to think about it is to just not be lazy and have a purpose in what you're doing and making sure you're not just turning your brain off, unless, of course, you're going to sleep for the night. But the first step is at least recognizing that comfort isn't necessarily going to make you successful. You need that feeling of uncomfortableness and actually use that as a drive to keep on pushing so that once you are actually finished with whatever you're trying to do, you actually get that satisfaction and you get that drive to keep on moving and to not fall into the pit of thinking, damn, I'm just going to have a rest again. I really have low energy. And make sure that you're optimizing and really getting the most out of your days so you're not ending up just being lazy in your bed because you don't want to get up because you don't have any drive. That's it for today. However, if you're still interested in learning anything about productivity, I've now started one-on-one coaching, which you can book a call for using the first link in the description below. But until then, I'll see you later.